What were your lifestyle choices? I'm sure everybody would be fascinated to know if you say, right, OK, there's no chemo, there's no radiotherapy, what did you do?
So the main thing really was nutrition and diet. So the second time round, which is where we got very serious about it, because Wendy's life was in real threat then. Basically, for the last sort of 6 years, we've not eaten any sugar, nothing processed. Our diet has been 100% organic whole foods. We stopped drinking. We lived like a pair of monks.
Wow.
And that was only part of the story. So if anybody looks online, you'll be able to see endless accounts of natural health therapies that have helped people with cancer and been very successful with them.
Yet it didn't cure her.
Well, it did, in many ways. So when I registered Wendy's death at the local registry office, the woman who'd been working there for many years said that she'd never seen on a medical note from a doctor 10 years and cancer.
Really?
She was amazed. And it was a similar story when we spoke to the palliative care consultant at Macmillan. So Wendy definitely added, in my opinion, probably a good 5 years onto her life.
You saw the life. You embraced the life that you could. You drove around the world, you drove around Europe. I think you saw something like 15 different countries.
What happened was, 3 years ago, Wendy was given 6 months. So we decided that the dreams that we had about travelling around Europe in a caravan and travelling around the world, we thought we'd put them into fruition there and then. So we made a decision to live in the now right then. Made my work adaptable to travelling, and we bought a caravan. We sprayed it with flowers, called it the Gypsy, and we spent the following 3 years, predominantly most of the time, travelling around Europe, having the time of our lives.
And she was very brave in facing her death. She wasn't afraid to die. Something you find much comfort in was when you discuss sort of, you know, people that have reached 70, 80, 90s, and whether or not she'd want to switch lives with one of them. And what did she say to that?
Yeah, so there was two things which gave me the comfort, a lot of comfort, and still do. One was every day when we were travelling, I'd say to Wendy, is there anything you'd rather be doing right now? And she said, no, I'm doing everything I want to do. So that was fabulous. And then not long ago, a few months ago, I opened a conversation with her about, would you swap lives with your father, who's 86, or my mother, who's 86? And she thought about it, and she said, no, I wouldn't. And then she started to think about everybody else that she could possibly think of. And she came back with, I wouldn't swap my life for anyone. She knew she was going to die. And that just, for me, was incredibly comforting.
Life well lived.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She really did rinse every last drop of life.
No, good for her.
I mean, the pain eventually forced you to return from your trip in Gypsy, and she was, as Holly said earlier, determined to die at home. And Wendy had two sons, Dylan and Luke. You've got two sons, Benjamin and Dominic. You were all sitting with her round the clock.